Alrighty, so we're actually not out in the studio this morning. I have had to, I've had to move everything into my kitchen, dining, whatever area this is with no furniture in it, because I had to figure out the painting behind me. Wait a minute. Oh, I want to show you something. This was sent to me by an artist named DG House. She's out west. This is some of her work. Normally, I'm sure her original work doesn't have coffee drooling down the front of it. It's just me. But yeah, I love this mug. This is from DG House, and you can find her on Facebook and Instagram as well. I put it down. So anyway, I'm going to tell a story first, because we love telling stories. So I'm out on the corner of Madison and 50th, and I've just dropped off a bunch of work to my new gallery, and I'm all excited. I've been given this fantastic opportunity, and they asked for 5 paintings. I think I dropped off 8, or I brought 8 or 9, something, a ridiculous number. Anyway, I brought extra paintings, and they hung some of them in the windows. So I have 2 paintings that are hanging in the window, no, 3 paintings that are hanging in the window on the corner of Madison and 50th in New York. 2 of them, maybe 3, because one was over on the 2nd floor, and I had pictures of it with St. Patrick's Cathedral in the background. I was so proud, but I was also nervous because they had asked for a certain amount of work. They didn't give me a time frame. I gave me a time frame. And I started to have, not anxiety attacks, but fear that if I didn't finish the work quickly, the opportunity would evaporate. And so I just worked and worked and worked in my little studio attic in East Providence, Rhode Island. This little bat-infested apartment, but not bat-infested, formerly bat-infested apartment in an attic, like an artist is supposed to, with a couple of bats flying around. But anyway, I worked and worked and worked furiously to get the work done. So when I brought it in, and I drove, and I was just excited and shaking, and when I brought it in, I knew some of it wasn't good. I knew some of it wasn't right, and it didn't sit well with me. But I said, you know what, we're going to throw spaghetti at the wall, they take what they take, and we'll go from there. So I'm standing there on the corner of Madison and 50th, St. Patrick's Cathedral behind me, pretty much every artist's dream, ready to sign an exclusive contract, and I'm looking at this one painting of a very pretty white girl from the 40s probably, holding a puppy. It is everything I don't do and I had done to be there. And with that painting, I'm standing there looking at it, and this woman walks up to me and she goes, she's standing next to me looking at the painting. We're both looking at it. She goes, did you do that? And I went, yep. She goes, nice. And I go, yeah, but it looks like her head is just going to fall off her shoulders and roll down the street, don't you think? And the woman laughed. She goes, yeah, because I really dialed it in. I was so anxious and so excited for the opportunity that I kind of, not just threw spaghetti at the wall, but kind of dialed it in and figured, you know what, maybe nobody will notice that this is absolutely incorrect. What I should have done, looking back, now through experience and hindsight, what I should have done was put on the brakes, and really done the best quality work I could possibly do. Instead of being like, you know what, I got this job, I got this opportunity, I'm going to take it, I'm going to do it, I can do it, I'm a hard worker and they're going to see it. I should have put on the brakes. Because if they wanted me, if they really wanted my work, and this has been a lesson I've learned through the past several years, if the client the gallery, the whomever, the organization really wants your work. They want your work, and they will wait. They will wait until it is correct and it is sitting well with you. Make no mistake, I still go like this, you know, like Chris Farley in Tommy Boy, like, I got this job and I'm gonna, I'm gonna da-da-da. But then I keep, like Chris Farley and Tommy Boy illustrating his sale, I have this pretty little pet. I have this pretty little pet, and I love my little pet, and I love him, and I love my little pet, and then I take it, and it's not because I'm meaning to, it's because I'm meaning to present myself in the best light, and in doing so, I present myself in a mediocre light, because I'm trying to keep up with what I think they want. I'm trying to read their minds. I'm trying to assume, or something like that. But anyway, now I have a tendency a lot more to say, I gotta stop. I gotta stop and I gotta think. And that's something I talked about in one of my last couple videos, was putting a painting to the side, or I've been talking about for years now, taking a painting, putting it to the side, and thinking. Now the painting behind me is one of those paintings. Boink! I think I did it last year, I think I did it last summer. It's hard to tell because it's always Florida and sunny and warm, except when it's raining. But I seem to remember it being sunny and warm. I think I did it last summer, but I'm not sure I really made a video about it. I'm not clear, so we're trying again. I was going to wake up this morning, grab an abstract painting, gush out wisdom about painting abstracts, blah, blah, blah. And instead I went in, flipped this one around, and I went, you know what? This has been bugging me since I finished it, or thought I'd finished it. I feel like I've dialed it in. And I feel like I dialed it in on one character. But I went in, I took it this morning, and I was adding reds and trying to get everything to pull together properly in structure and in balance, using reds and yellows and oranges, and trying to get some items to pop, and hoping this one figure would find its way because of the reds and yellows. One figure did find its way, but it wasn't because I was masking and pretending that this would work with the yellows and reds and these little swipes here and there, and ooh, it was because I really took a good look at it. I picked up my mirror, I turned on the camera, I looked at it backwards, and I went, I so dialed it in this time. Let me pick this little doodad up, and we're going to go in and see him. Hopefully, I know there's a lot of glare. There's a lot of glare, but can't do anything about it. It's kind of what we've got to deal with. Let me see this guy here. Nope, we're going to go back over here. Oh, this guy. This guy, I had him straight up and down. This arm was pulled in tightly. This arm was pulled in tightly. His face was too thin. He just kind of felt like this weird guy in the background, the creepy uncle that you shouldn't talk to because he's up to something. Or the guy on the porch just kind of photobombing in a bad way. So what I did when I was putting in the reds, I was putting in extra reds and yellows to help kind of give it more continuity and also give it more balance and helping them to pop in this very dark background. Don't normally do lots of dark backgrounds, did here, but I was hoping these reds would pull into other reds that are already in the painting and make him work. Was not working. Was not. Love my little pet here. So what I did is I took a really good look and tried to find the character I wanted him to be. Now what I actually want him to kind of suggest is, I can't remember the name of the painting, but Van Gogh's Painting of the Peasants, where they're ugly and they're in a dark room and I think they're either eating or gambling. I don't know. Don't remember. But I kind of want that feel where it's the deep, thick brush strokes, where he's there, he's not there. He's kind of ugly, he's not kind of ugly. And in doing so, he's not ugly, he just has a fat jowl. In doing so, in doing the larger brush strokes and more insinuating of light and dark, I've broadened out his elbows. I've broadened out this side. I've brought in his lapel, which was out way too far, and I saw it, but I didn't see it, and I wanted to deal with it, but I didn't want to deal with it. Well, we dealt with it. Brought in the lapel, widened the tie, brought out this arm, lifted his right arm just a little bit, his hand and arm just a little bit, so he feels more like he's leaning. And his jowls were really important. He didn't have much of a jowl, and I wanted him to have the jowls of a man who's leaning in. Now this is what I'm seeing. This is going from just, sorry about this. Once again, working with what we got. What we've got is an iPad on a metal easel that I never use for anything else. But anyway, what we've got now, what I feel we have now, is not just a painting of a family, a portrait of a family, which felt okay, but again, like the girl on Madison and 50th with her head about to roll off her shoulders because I did it incorrectly and decided to just roll with it. Now we have a family, we have figures. We have figures that we recognize, and we may see different emotions in. We may see frustration, anger. We may just see a depth and a seriousness, a weight. We may see people that we know or we recognize on some level. But we've also got this figure in the background who has a little bit more light to him. His structure is more correct. So it feels like, to me, this is what it feels like. Oh, you know, mom, dad, daughter, who's this? Who's this man? Who is this man sitting in the background? And that's kind of what I wanted. Who is he and what is his story? And what is the story the viewer will be reading from him or putting into him? How much of the viewer will see, not only see of themselves in the family and possibly the setting, but what will we see in him? So to me, right now, and I think I am going to leave this because he was irritating the Jesus out of me. Who are these two guys and what is their story? My original intent was, who are these two very strong women holding up the family, standing as the family? Original intent. But now because he is more balanced, he is more correct, he feels more real. Who are these two men? Who are they? Why are they seated? Why are they seated? And why do they feel like they're looking at us with trepidation? Pretty excited about it now. Pretty excited. I think I do have to, looking at it just a second ago, I think there are a couple more brush strokes. There should be a whiter light in a couple places here. Possibly a red right in there. And then to help maybe, I'll think about it. I don't want to be too predictable. But I'm thinking down in his feet, down in his shoes, there should be a little bit of a mention of red. Maybe right here in the shadows. So that everything does feel pulled together a little bit more. Anyway, that's that. It doesn't feel quite so dialed in now. So let's throw spaghetti at the wall and see what makes, what will stick. Feels like a more complete painting. Anyway, that's it. Got to get ready for work now. Because that's how we roll. Ciao.